How y'all doing? As y'all may know, my name is Brandon Owusu, otherwise known as Owusu Blanco on my YouTube. Y'all can go follow me on Instagram at Blanco Rolodex, or really just stay on my YouTube, because that's kind of what I want to venture on and keep doing, you know, the Instagram thing, Twitter thing, Facebook thing. I'm starting to veer off of that, so, you know, taking the time to really try to push this content out for you guys and also put it out for myself, you know. It's more of a self-exploration thing for me as well, so I appreciate the view and I appreciate the time. Now, let's get into the subject of this video. Now, you want to learn about stocks, and I know everybody has their tell-all about how they made 100,000 off stocks, 10,000 in one flip. You know, everybody has their different ways of doing the stock market. And, you know, that is the beauty of the stock market. That is why, you know, some of the stock markets like the New York Stock Exchange, for instance, is one of the biggest stock exchanges in the world, because it provides and lends the opportunity for millions of investors to pool in money to ultimately, you know, receive profit on their investment, you know, and that's the beauty of the stock market. But the stock market is something like anything that with great power comes great responsibility, and that's why it's important to really understand what you're doing and not just go off of trends that you see some of the more famous investors do. Really take your time, understand your risk, you know, how much money you're bringing in a month or a week, and also some of the type of investments you wish to make, whether they might be, you know, in, you know, ETFs, or they might be in REITs, or, you know, maybe some sort of just pure stocks, you know what I mean, penny stocks. You know, you got people doing that nowadays, especially at one point when betting, you know, wasn't going on because of the COVID-19 pandemic. You saw a lot of people dabbling in the penny stock realm. So, you know, you have to recognize what your risk is, you know, your risk tolerance is, and that's where you can make the decision on where you want to go with your stocks. So let me just give you a bit about myself first before I kind of delve into my stock portfolio. So right now, I'm currently 22 years old. I graduated Ball State University this semester, got my degree in economics, which was, you know, a very interesting ride. You know, first started off as a chemistry major. You know, I was always kind of really good at math, and kind of just dabbled in different things. But when I found economics, kind of like really touched me, you know, something that I really love to do. And not only is it, you know, it's applicable to a lot of jobs. You know, you got the data and analyst jobs, you know, which a lot of people do, whatever. But it gives you a real understanding of how this thing we call America kind of moves around, the different governmental systems and how those kind of shape, you know, the market, and how the market shapes our daily choices and how we make decisions, you know. So, and that can get way deeper, and I'm not going to go into that in this video, maybe another video down the line, but that's kind of what I studied. Now, right now, when I started investing, I wanted to put some money towards investing right after I graduated college. Now, when I was in college, I could have invested. I was in an investment club. Obviously, I was with economics, speaking about, you know, a lot of things business related. You know, I could have been investing, but I wanted to take my time, which is very important, take my time and recognize my risk and see how much money I can clearly see coming in and out, especially once I was out of college and it wasn't kind of, you know, it wasn't on a variable income, kind of just straightforward, kind of see what I was going with. And so I decided to do that. Now, the interesting thing about me doing that is when I left college, I was right in the middle of a pandemic. You know, the COVID-19 pandemic has really hit everyone, and it's done extremely, destructive things to the stock market, and we've seen that take place this whole summer. And so I took it upon myself to invest, which in a lot of people's eyes is a really good thing to do, investing during, a global issue or a global pandemic like COVID-19, because, you oftentimes see a lot of stocks selling or, selling for a very low price. A lot of stocks become undervalued because, a lot of people tend to pull out their money in times of panic and stress, and that tends to make a lot of stocks undervalued, which for people like me who understand that something that's undervalued, you buy it now and you sell it high later, you can churn a big profit from that. And that's kind of one of my mentalities. That's the first thing that I wanted to go into today. So, about my stocks. So my portfolio ranges into a couple of different, markets and things of that nature, but it's relatively straightforward based on my risk assessment. So I'm a fairly moderate risk stock investor, and what that means is, I love to see a profit of 10 to 15%. That is perfect for me. 10 to 15% is something that I love to see, and knows that I'm beating the S&P, I'm beating the S&P, but I'm also not going for 30%, 40%, 50%, returns on profit, because as you know, high profit, high probability of losing your money, so I tend to take a moderate perspective. But again, COVID-19 kind of inflates a lot of the numbers, and you may see my stock portfolio look higher than, it would tend to be had it not been for the pandemic. And that has something to do with the Federal Reserve and how they've pumped liquidity into the market. And that's a whole nother discussion that I would love to go into in a different video. But right now, we'll just stick with my portfolio. So now that you've got to see my stock portfolio, you kind of got to see within my portfolio, I've taken some chances, on some things, just because I've seen, I'm an economics major, so I understand, supply and demand. And if I see, for instance, one of my stocks, I'm a stockholder in Ross. During a global pandemic, when income is uncertain, you will tend to see consumers, purchase lower quality clothing goods, just to accommodate for the lack of certainty in the market. So that's just me understanding substitute goods and things that I just learned in economics, just simple economic principles that I take to me purchasing stocks. Another example is Planet Fitness is a membership that I actually own, and obviously the safety is a very important guideline when choosing stocks, because you understand that Planet Fitness is a higher risk company at a time like this, when people don't really understand how safe these centers will be, these gyms will be. But a lot of universities have taken the approach of limiting the amount of students that they have at their recreational facilities. And I think what this may do is create a substitute effect with, cheaper gym memberships like Planet Fitness, where students who feel as though they may need some more workout time or may need an alternative to having the school gym, they're going to, take the principle and the initiative to go to a Planet Fitness and try that out. So I can see that being, a very positive. Now, like I said, these are all economic principles that I hold to me, that I've studied and I understand for myself. And even within my economic principles, they're all theory based, this, and it's not set in stone. And that's another key thing that I really wanted to mention in this. no matter if you're listening to me speak or you're listening to Warren Buffett speak, none of this is a fact. None of this is really you can scientifically prove, you know. This is all theory-based, based on experience, based on timing. Timing is very important, and based on, like I said before, the level of risk that you're willing to take on. All of these are key things that you have to understand when purchasing stocks or making any investment. Investing in yourself, investing in a corporation, investing in a real estate piece, you know, anything that you're dealing with revolves around, you know, timing, risk assessment, and really just some good data too, you know. So always take that into mind. Nothing is fact. These so-called experts who say they're experts, you know, they've done a lot of work, they've spent a lot of time in these fields, but they can never ever know what's going to happen, you know. So that's a very important and key, you know, thing when deciding whether or not you want to go ahead and purchase some stocks, you know. All right, I think that wraps it all up. I really appreciate you for watching the video. What I want you to do is drop a thumbs up in the video at the bottom, you know, maybe show some love with a comment or something like that. Just tell me how you feel. Also, tell me if you have any other ideas or some videos you want me to, you know, go over. I spoke about within this video that I know a bit about the Federal Reserve System. That's something that I know a lot of people my age do not really know. So I'd love to talk about that. And, you know, I also got some, you know, new video game, you know, 2K21 just came out. So, you know, I got some videos for that too. So yeah, whenever you get the chance, please like and subscribe, maybe share, send it out to some friends, just so they can know more about the stock exchange and know more about investments in general. And hopefully, you know, we continue this brand on strong, you know, and just keep pushing forward, you know. So thank you so much again, and y'all have a good one. Peace.